What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today is officially our last rebuild of NBA 2K24. 2K25, as we all know, drops this week. If you pre-ordered it, you get it 2 days early. So we are going to make today's video, the last 2K24 rebuild. That was a bit of a fun idea to end it off here. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be jumping into the LeBron era like we've done the last few videos. But today, we're going to be doing an 82-0 fantasy draft rebuild challenge to kind of kick off, or I guess not kick off, but kind of end off 2K24 and there's a transition to 2K25. So let's go ahead and jump in and do this fun little challenge today. Before we get in today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciate. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs. I know I didn't really get a lot uploaded last week, but at this point, 2K24 is at its end and I'm just ready for 2K25. That's where I'm at. So once 2K25 drops, you guys all know we'll be back on your regular scheduled programming, just because there's going to be a lot of content for us to do on 2K25. I'm hoping for some good things. Honestly, I haven't kept up with the news that much when it comes to 2K. I'm prepared to be disappointed, but I'm optimistic maybe we get, at least like the new CBA rules would be fun at least to see. I know there's a new interface and stuff, but I know there's a new era as well, so I guess that's cool. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with 2K25. But how we're going to start this today is this isn't really going to matter. This is really just going to determine our jerseys and I guess what draft picks we get. So we're just going to go ahead and stop in like 3, 2, 1. We are going to get the Sacramento Kings as the team we are. But what pick do we got is what I'm wondering. So we are going to have not a good one, it looks like. So that's kind of sucks. Looks like we had like pick 20. I don't know. We're going to send this draft though, and we're going to see what our team ends up being. I'm hoping to get like a really good young player, but I'm prepared to be disappointed like I am for 2K25, I guess. All right, now it's time to see what our team ended up becoming. So this will be interesting. Now, we do got a load a 2011 draft class. Power ranking doesn't land us very high, so I'm assuming we probably didn't get anybody too good, which isn't a great start to this, obviously. So that's not fun, but we'll figure it out. We're going to get this figured out, don't you worry. The odds of me going 82-0 are very slim, of course, as we all know. I'd never really gotten close. I think the closest I've ever been was 80 wins, and that was probably a long time ago. That was like it's probably like a few 2Ks ago at this point. I only remember because I had a Monty Bates back when he was like a highly touted prospect. I had him on like the Celtics, and in that draft class, he was just OP right out of the draft. And yeah, so that was like the closest I've ever been. So let's see what our team looks like. Joe Johnson, not terrible. Paul Millsap, Jameer Nelson, Thad Young, Ronnie Brewer, Kendrick Perkins, Anthony Parker, Eddie House. Yeah, so this is the team. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's okay. It's nothing spectacular. ISO Joe is fun to have, but him being 29 years old doesn't give me a lot of time. Paul Millsap, a young 25-year-old Paul Millsap. I don't know how much he'll develop. That's one thing I have to keep in mind as well, is we don't really know how much these guys will develop. So that will be kind of interesting to kind of look at. We have a young Thad Young, so I don't know what we'll be able to do with him. I guess let's just start this video with seeing what we can get for Joe Johnson, just because him being 29 doesn't give me a ton of time. So if we can get like any type of, like Kevin Love, I know was an absolute beast back then. I actually low-key like this trade because he puts up numbers. So kind of like the way, I kind of almost like starting with this, because rebounding, as we know, is very important. I think having Kevin Love could actually be insanely OP to get him. But I would try to see if we can get him without trading Joe Johnson, maybe. Chauncey Billups, Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy doesn't develop that much, I noticed in the Blazers video. Aldridge, Carlos Boozer, Iguodala. Iguodala would probably be a really solid piece to have as well. But I do want to start this video by adding Kevin Love. I think he'd be an insane addition to this team. So if I can get out of this without trading, Joe Johnson, I would do Paul Millsap for Kevin Love. But let's see if we can do it without him as well. Let's say we did Jameer Nelson in this trade, and our first round pick is insanely valuable. I got to keep that. 20. Okay, so we got to make sure we keep our draft picks for another trade, because that's actually insane to see. So can I throw like Thad Young and Jameer Nelson in here for Kevin Love? They don't agree to that. If we have to do, like, our second round pick is valuable as hell too. Let's see. Do they accept this? No. All right. So maybe we do trade Paul Millsap for Kevin Love. I don't think that's the worst thing to do. I think if we can get out of here, with trading Paul Millsap for Kevin Love, I think I'd feel fine with that. So I'm going to try to do none of my first, but I don't know if I'll be able to get away with that. A few seconds. I'll throw in Ronnie Brewer, maybe. And they do agree. Okay, so we get Kevin Love without trading any of our first, which is a great start. So Kevin Love, 22 years old, puts up crazy numbers. I think that's a great start to this video. trying to go 82-0. Next to me is Joe Johnson and all the first round picks that we have. So I think we got to get an insane center. And in today's video, no one's gonna be untouchable. So immediately I think of Dwight Howard. That would be kind of fun to put him and Kevin Love together. That would be a great start, I think. You know, a bunch of rebounding down low. Rebounding is a very important stat in 2K. So I kind of like the idea of starting with that. Or yeah, so I think I want to trade Joe Johnson for a center, ideally, because obviously big men were kind of important back then. So that is where I'm going to go with this next and see what we can get for Joe Johnson with the insane value we have on our draft picks right now. Today's video is brought to you by two softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. We're starting on Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer. So right now there's actually a few really good players on the board at the moment. So we got Edward Rodriguez, and Jack Flaherty over 9.5 strikeouts on a combo. Now I promise you, this has been sitting here for a while as I've been recording. This, I guarantee this is no longer available. So if we go take a look and see if we can find this on Prize Picks, so we go to MLB, pitcher strikeouts combo, and yeah, it's not there. So that is what this software does. It's nice value, finds really good plays, and Prize Picks removes them because they know they're good. So that's how you know you're finding really good plays. Maybe Corbin Burns isn't available either if we take a look at that. Still available at the moment, but yeah, as you can tell, this one is gone. So if you want to check out Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer, it's good for Prize Picks, Underdog, and any of these popular DFS apps. And it's a really good time right now, guys. Football has started with college, and NFL starts literally this week. We got 2 games, Thursday and Friday, and then a full slate of games on Sunday. I am so damn excited. And then I also love OddsJam's positive EV tool. So what this tool does is finds discrepancies on also. So just like what Daily Grind Fantasy does with the traditional or with fantasy sports books, we have this one for traditional sports books. They also have a fantasy optimizer as well. But if you look at this, Chicago White Sox +3, as you can see, this is no longer available either. This has been bumped all the way down to -166. You could have gotten this at -133. That's the kind of value that these two softwares find you, man. It's insane to have these. I promise you, it's absolutely insane to have these softwares. Even if you only get just one of them, they're both insanely awesome. So make sure to check out OddsJam and Daily Grind Fantasy. Both links down in the description below. Use my code. You get a percentage off your first month. I think OddsJam even has a 7-day free trial. I'm not sure if DGF does at the moment. But last but not least, make sure to sign up for Prize Picks. It's actually an insanely good time, as I just mentioned. They also have a free square on Caleb Williams, over half a passing yard. That's literally a free win. So make sure to check out everything down in the description below. Use code Crushables on Prize Picks to match first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Check out the two softwares. Insanely good time to start betting on some sports, of course, coming up. On that, let's get back to the video. So the two centers I have in mind, as I mentioned already, was Dwight Howard, who actually, funny enough, landed back in Orlando. So we're going to see if we can get Dwight Howard off the Orlando Magic. I don't know if they'll accept this. We have a insane good amount of draft picks. We're going to have to throw Joe Johnson in here, probably. If we can't get him, another player or another center I was looking at, got where he ended up going, but Joakim Noah, of course, back then was a really good defender down low. So I think Joakim Noah wouldn't be bad either. He was like on one of these teams coming up. I just don't remember which one. Marc Gasol, young Marc Gasol could be interesting, but I think I really want to plant my flag on either getting, like I said, Dwight Howard, which is my ideal selection, or Joakim Noah, which I cannot. Oh, there he is. So he's on the Blazers. He wouldn't be too bad to get either. But let's even get Dwight Howard on this team. So Dwight Howard, and we'll throw Joe Johnson in here. So they're not going to accept that. What if we threw our 2012 first-round pick? So that's not going to be valuable to them. What about our 2011 first-round pick? Maybe we have to throw both in here. 2013, what do you say? They don't agree to that. So do we want to give up the whole 9 for Dwight Howard is the question. Do we just go all in for Dwight Howard and trade like 3 draft picks in a row to get him? I don't know. I think he'd be an insane center to get for sure. I think we got to go for it. I'm going to offer all 3. They still don't agree to that though, so maybe this isn't going to work anyway. I'm not sure I want to throw 4 at him. I mean, do we throw 4? Do we do it? I'll throw 1 more in a second. If they say no to this, we move on. So now I'm going to say yes to that. So Dwight Howard, unfortunately, is not going to be gettable. So maybe we just wait on Dwight Howard. The other guy, like I said, was Joakim Noah. We can go see what his, what his value would be on the Blazers. 86 overall, him, really good defender back then. So I don't know. Let's see. Joakim Noah, maybe not for Joe Johnson. Let's say we did Jameer Nelson for Joakim Noah. I don't think he'd be too hard to get, I imagine. Let's trade our 2nd round pick. And let's see if we can throw another player in here. Can we throw another player in here? Anthony Parker. All right, that's not going to get it done. So Joakim Noah, Thad Young, could be something. We got to remember, though, once we trade or once we start simming, these first round picks might become crap. And we do get Joe Kim Noah. So, Joe Kim Noah and Kevin Loves is how we're starting this video. We still have ISO Joe as well. Definitely still somebody we're looking to trade away. I'll throw him in the trade finder one more time just to see. Let's say we threw Joe Johnson and actually two of our first. Let's see what that would give me. So, Millsap and Roy Hibbert, Brooke Lopez, Chauncey, Zebo, and then Aldridge. So nothing I really like there. Let's say we just did one first. Roy Hibbert, Gordon Hayward, Conley, Brandon Roy, Zebo, Aldridge, Darren Williams is actually kind of fun. 26 years old. Of course, was a beast back then. Getting Boris Diaw's not bad either. DeRozan, a young DeRozan that is. I don't know. Just not really liking any of these offers so far. So I might be selling by not using these picks right now because they're insanely valuable, but I just don't really see anything, man, and it kind of sucks that I don't see anything that I really like. What if we one last try? Joe Johnson in the small forward spot, Joe Johnson and one of our first. Let's see. So Roy Hibbert, Lamar Odom. This is probably gonna be like the same offers, isn't it? Do we do anything? Darren Williams. I mean, do we do this Darren Williams trade? I mean, low key, I doubt we would have to. I don't know. I just don't really want to do it. So I think I'm going to stick to my guns and just keep it the way things are right now. And we'll trade Joe Johnson in the offseason. Our pick is probably going to be a lot better. It's probably not going to be this valuable anymore, which really sucks. But obviously, we're not going 82-0 this season, but we should still be good. Maybe we're still terrible. I don't know. It's not looking like this is going to be the case. But if we're good right now with this roster, that's a good sign of potentially building an 82-0 team. So I guess we shouldn't be too discouraged. The team ends up being pretty good. So Dwayne Wade wins MVP on the Knicks. Blake Griffin's rookie of the year on the Warriors. Manu Ginobili, 6-man. Dwight Howard, defensive player. Tried to get him, but unfortunately did not come through with that. Serge Ibaka, 13-12. Byron Scott, and then Richard. So not too shabby. So here's your NBA first team. I don't know if we'll have any like Kevin Love or Joakim Noah here, so it doesn't look like it. Joakim Noah, all defensive team, maybe? No, none of that either. Okay. Well, we did end up being a playoff team, which is nice. 5th seed in the West, like I mentioned. The fact that this team was good, it's probably a great sign. So 28 from ISO Joe. So the man was a savage, not going to lie. Kevin Love with 22 and 14, which is why we decided to trade for him. He just puts up numbers. So looks like we're going to have to pay. Actually, no, we don't have to pay him this year, which is huge. Joakim Noah we're going to have to pay, though, which we will do. So we'll re-sign Joakim Noah. Eddie House is pretty solid as well. Obviously, I don't really care about winning a championship. The ultimate goal is to go 82-0, but we do get out of round 1. So somebody current round against the Warriors. So they're up 3-2 on us, and they are going to beat us in 6, though. Okay. So, oh, you know what would have been a really good idea to go get Stephen Curry? Wow, the Blake Griffin on the Warriors is fun. I guess Stephen Curry's not on the Warriors. What am I talking about? I always thought they made it all the way because of Steph, and that's not the case. It's because of Blake Griffin, he was damn good as well. So that would have been really solid to go get him because he's still on a very, very small contract for the foreseeable future. Got a lot of retirements, but let's go straight to historic changes. Not that this matters too much for us. Obviously, lottery isn't going to matter for us anymore. Maybe we made a mistake by not trading our draft picks while they were insanely valuable, but just didn't really see anything that I liked when I would try. Obviously, we tried to go for Dwight Howard. He just, was not budging. So, or the Magic weren't, I guess, over him. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this coaching staff with the best staff that money can buy, because that's obviously important. Maybe we even fire a head coach for a better head coach. I don't really know what our head coach's ratings are looking like, but we'll look at that in just a second. So let me fill out this coaching staff, and I'll show you guys the next steps of trying to assemble the 82-0 squad. So once again, checking on Joe Johnson's value, and no offers were found before the draft. So we're just going to jump in and see what we can get in this draft. So Kyrie's going to go 1. We got Klay Thompson going 2. We got Kawhi Leonard going to the Grizzlies, Derek Williams going to the Blazers, and Jonas Valanciunas going to the Raptors, like he did in real life. Okay, so we have Bojan Bogdanovic. We have Isaiah Thomas. I think we're going to take Bojan. So Bojan is going to come to Sacramento, which is nice. So we're going to get Bojan Bogdanovic, but I kind of want to see if we can, I don't know, Kawhi Leonard kind of sucks right out of the gate, which I'm a little surprised by. I thought it'd be a little bit better. So maybe we don't do that. I was kind of considering trading up and getting one of the prospects, but none of them were very good. I mean, Kyrie Irving would be insane to get, but he just went #1 overall, so that'd probably be really hard to pull off. Joakim Noah is a free agent, so we got to take advantage of having a little bit of money freed up because Kevin Love hasn't been paid yet. So assuming we have a little bit of money, so we have money to sign like a J.R. Smith. But what is available here? So we have Carmelo, we have Al Horford, we have Tony Parker, we have Mike Conley, a young Mike Conley that is, but he's restricted. J.R. Smith is interesting. Andre Karolinko. So nothing that I particularly love, to be honest. I'm not really in love with anybody in free agency. Carmelo, guess, is fun, but not the guy I'm really looking to get. Al Horford, kind of have our big man depth as it is. Of course, we'll need backups eventually. Joakim Noah is going to get paid this offseason a little bit. I'm going to do what I do usually. I'm going to try to take this as late as I possibly can and see if I can get him for as cheap as possible. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. You'll probably get an offer if I had to imagine, but we're going to try it anyway. So, once again, I'm still trying to trade Joe Johnson. He had a really good season for us, but I think we need a younger player to really build around to keep, to go forward with it. So we're gonna throw him in here again and see what pops up. So Derek Favors, Chris Bosch is a little interesting. Andre Bargnani, Chris Kaman, Brandon Roy, Tyreek Evans, and Drew Holiday. So that gives us a really good young backcourt that might continue to develop, which is somewhat interesting to me. I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't mind this trade. That's two 21-year-olds that will continue to develop, and overall, if I had to guess, so I don't hate that trade. Same thing with this one, getting a young Brandon Jennings and a young DeAndre Jordan, who develops really nicely. Yeah, I kind of like that one as well. Carlos Boozer, Jarrett Jack, Rip Hamilton, Rosen, and Greg Monroe. Don't mind this either. All right, so I think I'm gonna choose between Brandon Jennings, DeAndre Jordan, or Tyreek Evans and Drew Holiday. If I had to choose, I do believe this trade is a little bit better because this gives us a really good backup five behind Joakim Noah. I mean, we'll have a really good center at all times in the court. And Jennings is still someone we could, he's 21 years old. We can still decide what to do with him going forward. I think we'll keep DeAndre Jordan for the foreseeable future. Yeah, we're going to do this trade. We're trading ISO Joe, 2012 first-round pick for Jennings and DeAndre Jordan. Jordan, if I can get away with not trading my first, I will do that, but I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. Let's say we traded Jason Maxwell in this trade. I don't know if that's going to do anything. So they'll give us Lou Williams, who's 24 at this point. Gives us another young player. I guess, I don't mind this, but let's say we only trade this pick, and I'll throw you Bojan. What do you say to that? All this for, nope, they're not interested. And I'll throw Eddie House in here as well. What do you say to that? They don't agree. Damn, I thought they'd agree to that. Okay, so not happening. Yeah, so maybe we can't do that. All right, so let's say we go back to, let's say we did this for, well, that's the trade. Eddie House for Sam Iverson. All right, so we're going to get out of this without trading a first-round pick. Sign me up. Lou Williams, Jennings, DeAndre Jordan. I think that's an insane haul. We do trade Joe Johnson, of course, which is our best player, but I do really like this return for him. So I'm going to go ahead and do that trade. So that gives us two really good players that we can continue to have on this team. Actually, three, because Lou Williams, of course, has won 6th Man of the Year. So I actually really like his role here as well. So I really like what we've done so far. And that gives us money. Well, DeAndre Jordan, of course. Well, Joe Johnson was making some money. So that should give us a little bit of money for agency to use. That's nice. So now we kind of have, so I guess at this point, we need a wing at more than anything. So we do have money for Carmelo, which would be fun, I guess. He's unrestricted. He is getting a massive offer from a lot of teams, though. So I don't know if we'll be able to get him. Joakim Noah, as I mentioned, I'm going to get back. Zach Randolph. It actually might not be bad to sign like a J.R. Smith or Zach Randolph. Not to keep them going forward, but just to have them as contracts we can trade away later on if we need to. So I'm going to see if I can get J.R. Smith on this team. And then, like I mentioned, we're going to wait on Joakim Noah if we can. So we don't have to renounce. We do not have to renounce Joakim Noah to sign J.R. Smith, which is a great sign. But he is getting an offer sheet, so we obviously can't waste any more time. So Joakim Noah and J.R. Smith are going to be together on this team, which is nice. So I really like the team we've assembled so far. I don't think it's an 82-0 squad just yet. Don't get me wrong, but I do like where we're going with this. So Brandon Jennings, J.R. Smith, Lou Williams. We do need a wing still, but I really, really like this team. I really, really do like it. So we could sign like a free agent wing, Sasha Vujacic or whatever. So we'll get him to be our starting small forward, and then we could sign maybe a couple other guys to just be some backups. So we do need a backup power forward, I noticed. So just give me like Sean Williams. I don't know if I can get both of them. Can I get both? Let's see. Sean Williams. Yes, I can. So boom. Got those guys, and then we could sign Anthony Parker, I guess, as well. Maybe he signs, this. Nope, he says no. Actually, we don't need him. We already have a backup shooting guard. So we'll move Sasha to small forward, and that will give us our team this year. So really like this. Really like where we've started with this. So that will give us a really good squad. So hoping Jennings will develop even more. So let's see what player progression is looking like. Hopefully Kevin Love, Joakim Noah are all going up. So Joakim Noah is up. Jennings is up even more. So all these guys are developing, which is beautiful stuff. I love that. Joakim Noah did not move up, which kind of is unfortunate, but it's not the worst thing in the world. DeAndre Jordan, Joakim Noah as a duo, really nice. J.R. Smith is up 3, which is great. So love what we're seeing so far, and I think we're off to a good start. Now, I think we still need a few other moves for sure to, really be confident in this being a potential 82-0 squad, but I think we're off to a solid start, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and load this 2012 draft class, and maybe we could find a way to get, Anthony Davis or Damian Lillard out of it. That'd be kind of, a really good get if we could find a way to do that. So that would be awesome. We'll see if we could do that, but I'm going to load this draft class, and I'll see you guys at the end of year 2, and hopefully we end up being pretty solid. We are shopping the trade deadline as we are 32-17 on the season. So, of course, this wasn't the season we were trying to go 82-0, but I do want to look at all my options on who we could get at this deadline. So, I kind of have an idea of who I want, just kind of scanning to see who is available or whatever, but I kind of have the perfect guy that I think we could bring in, which would be a ton of fun if we can get him. And he is on the Pacers right now, but he is Rajon Rondo. At 25 years old, I think Rajon Rondo would be insane to get. Obviously, he was an insane good passer back then. Really good point guard who's a 90 overall, only 25 as well. I think having him with Kevin Love and Joakim Noah could be a game changer. And then hopefully we can get like our score in free agency or another way, and we'll have like a team that like really complements each other, which is why I think Rondo would be a good complement to whatever we bring in to eventually be like the scoring, or to be the scoring superstar. But of course, Rondo is a damn good player, so I don't know, how easy this will be. If I had to throw Brandon Jennings in here, I would do it confidently. So let's throw Jennings in here to start this trade, and then let's throw in maybe it has to be Sean Williams, or maybe it has to be Lou Williams, which I'm not opposed to. So Jennings and Lou Williams for Rondo, I think would be a really solid investment. So let's see. They say no to that right away. Maybe we can even do this without Lou Williams. Let's say we did Sasha and Sean, and then do you have anybody that's like, what about this guy? Okay, so we can maybe do it with this. So Jennings 2012 first round pick for Sasha, Sean Williams, and then our 2014 first, and they don't agree to that. What about another one? And they don't agree to that. So maybe Rondo was gonna be a little bit harder than I initially thought to get, but I'm still gonna try. So Lou Williams instead, 2014 and 2013. What do you say to that? They don't agree to it. Second. All right, so what if we remove Marquise Daniels of the trade? All of this for Rondo. It is a lot to give up, but I really like Rondo's fit. So Rondo's fit, I think, is going to be phenomenal. So we get Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo played in Sacramento before, but I think he's an insanely good complement to what we have going on. So Rondo, J.R. Smith, which I don't mind. J.R. Smith, of course, is, actually having a really good season. 21 points and 43% shooting from 3. Really can complain about that. So the only thing is, with this roster, I would be totally fine with this, but we got to find a way to get a damn good small forward in the building. And I just don't know how we do that without trading one of these guys, which is something I don't want to do. I really like kind of how these guys complement each other. I think Kevin Love, Joakim Noah, JR, and Rondo is a damn good start. If we can find a way, like I said, it's going to be very, very hard to do, but if we could find a way to get a wing in here that is insanely good, we might be onto something. But love Rondo's fit. Maybe have overpaid just a little bit, but I think he's going to complement whatever we eventually bring in. And I think he's going to be a player that, contributes to winning in 2K here. So, although we're not off to a great start, but our depth has taken a little bit of a hit by trading Lou and obviously Jennings together. And chemistry probably a little bit wonky now. But I like the investment of Rondo. We'll see what we have to do coming up in free agency. I know Kevin Love's a free agent, which of course we will re-sign him. But yeah, we'll see who we get eventually to be that small for the future. So we won 53 games to start this season. You had Kyrie, 6th man, and Rookie of the Year. So 53 is nice. I think at the very least, I would love to see 70 wins put up for us. 70 wins is probably a nice little goal. So Rondo makes an all-offensive team, which is really good as well going forward. So I like that. So if you take a look at our player stats and kind of seeing how it ended. So you had 24 from J.R. Smith. You had 20 and 13 from Kevin Love. 12 and 12 from Rondo, 11 from Sasa Vujacic, 10 and 9 from Joakim Noah. Same thing with DeAndre Jordan, 6 and 7 or whatever. So it's only playoffs, and let's see if we can go on to win a championship. And we are going to get bounced by the Rockets in round 1. So I think our depth really needs help, but the Warriors are going to go on to win another one. So Blake Griffin has been absolutely insane. I mean, I don't know if there would be a way for me to get Blake Griffin, but playing him the small forward would be kind of a cheat code, I think. He's on a very cheap contract. It's gonna be really hard to pull him off, but having him with Kevin Love, Joakim Noah, JR, that would be kind of insane. Now, like I said, we're gonna have to really find a way to make that happen. I don't know if we would be able to, but that would be my goal right now if we could pull it off. Because as you can see, he is having a lot of success in simulation right now, and if we can find a way to get him, I think we got to definitely consider it. So staff signing, our draft pick, of course, is going somewhere else. So I am going to fire head coach just because his ratings are actually kind of terrible. So Greg Popovich would be insane. Underwood, what else we got? What other head coach options we got? So we got Phil Jackson as well, Mike D'Antoni. So we got to go for like one of these top guys. So it doesn't look like we have enough money for Popovich, unfortunately. So I'm going to offer it anyway. He's not going to say yes to it though. It'd be really nice. I guess we can just do it this way. So head coach. So Jacob Underwood, I'll get him as well. If he's not a real person, but I mean, it's better than So Brandon Buck Williams, assistant. Where did Mr. Phil Jackson go? Phil Jackson would be my other try. So all these guys are like assistant coaches. Where did Phil Jackson go? I don't see him anymore. The head coach. All right, there he is. So Phil Jackson will offer too. All right, so we'll get Jacob Underwood, which isn't bad. So Underwood, welcome, and then we'll grab a post-D coach and a shot doctor. Hopefully, get this guy with great rating. So we are gonna get him, which is nice. W, and then shot doctor. All right, so my goal here is to try to get Blake Griffin this offseason. Again, it's gonna be insanely hard to pull that off. I don't know if we'll be able to. He's probably untouchable or whatever, but I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna try. So we're gonna see what we can do. But if we can get Blake Griffin in this team, I'd feel very confident about maybe assembling an 82-0 squad. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna trade for some firsts. That's the best way to do this. So I'm gonna do that. So Sean Williams is gone, and let's trade. Also, I mean, we got to keep in mind though. I guess we're gonna have to use free agency. We're gonna have to sign some guys in free agency and just trade them for first and just throw a bunch at Blake Griffin. We'll get a little. This is where we're gonna get a little cheesy here. Not gonna lie. But let's see if we get a few first. So that's a second and a first. That's 2 first-round picks. We have to trade one though. Let's see what else we got. Anybody else? Let's see. So nothing that I really like here. So I think I'm gonna leave that here. Let's just go to player options and let's see what we got. So player options, nothing, and then qualifying offers, of course. Kevin Love is a free agent. We do want to bring back, and then free agency. It looks like we had a bunch of restricted free agents, but no bird rights or anything. So we don't have money for like Derrick Rose. The only guy we are interested at least, well, I mean, Kevin Love's restricted. It's for whatever he's not giving me the option to just resign him or whatever, but there's no way we're letting Kevin Love go for nothing. So all right, so we are going to be signing a lot of guys in free agency and flipping them for first round picks because my goal is to get a small forward in this building. My first option will be Blake Griffin. I don't know how easy that would be to pull off, but that would be my first option. But, we're going to do what we can to get a really good small forward in this building because I think that's exactly what we're missing. So as I told you guys, I'm really trying to get a small forward this offseason. I doubt we'll be able to get Blake Griffin, but a guy I do kind of like getting instead would be Paul George, who of course could continue to develop up to an overall, which would be really, or to whatever overall he ends up becoming. So gotten a bunch of first round picks through, trading guys in free agency. Don't know if the Celtics will accept this. We're throwing every single pick I possibly can at them for Paul George, and they don't agree to it. So Paul George is not going to be gettable at the moment, and changing this to a second is probably not going to change that either. So we can't get Paul George. Instead, we will try. We're going to try for James Harden on the Hornets as well, and then the last guy we'll try for is Kawhi on the Grizzlies, who's an extremely low overall. Kind of hoping we can just get him because his overall is extremely low. So we're going to see if we can get James Harden. I'll throw in CJ Watson, all this for Harden, and they don't agree to it. So Harden's not going to be gettable either. So my last hope is to get Kawhi Leonard at an extremely low value. I don't know if they'll accept this or not, but let's say we remove all of this. So 3 firsts for Kawhi and CJ Watson. They don't agree to that, unfortunately. I will throw in another pick. Not going to get it done. Another first. Not going to get it done either. And let's say, another first. Nope. That's the same first. What am I talking about? Sasha in this trade as well. And we do get Kawhi Leonard. So we get Kawhi Leonard, which is fantastic. So basically what we're hoping for is Kawhi Leonard will just develop into what we think he'll develop into. If he does, then we potentially have ourselves the 82-0 squad. If he doesn't develop, then of course we might have just played ourselves. But I mean, we didn't give up that much. We basically just got a bunch of firsts by trading guys through free agency. So we kind of have at least depth of 6 players that we feel confident in, which is great. Now we got to figure out how I feel about the rest of the roster. So I really like this roster though. If this team, develops into what I think it can, we might have ourselves 82-0 squad, or at least a fun team. So like I said, free agency though isn't going to be very good to us. So we're going to have to sign like Carlos Arroyo, Marquise Daniels. Like our depth is going to be pretty shot, not going to lie. But Hopefully we can figure that out as we go along. But I'll offer, we'll get these 3 guys, which is nice. So we'll get those guys, and then that's what we'll roll with. And then one thing we could also do is we got a few guys come back in their qualifying offers or whatever. So Kawhi Leonard's up to an 81, which is fantastic. So he's already developing kind of what we want to see him develop into. That's great. That's kind of what we're, banking on, is him developing as much as possible. You also have Rondo, Kevin Love, and then DeAndre Jordan up to an 88 overall in his own right. So all that's fantastic. So I think what we can do is, well, I mean, this 2013 draft class isn't great. I was going to say maybe we could, trade up to get some 2013 picks, or trade some of these guys to get some 2013 picks. But, with the 2013 draft class not being very good, I don't know if we could really get depth through that. But we landed ourselves Kawhi Leonard, which I feel, very good about. We're getting closer and closer to making this the 82-0 team. Now we just got to worry about depth in Kawhi developing as much as possible when we finally say, okay, this is the season to do it. The MVP is going to go to Rajon Rondo, averaging a huge double-double with 13 and 16 at the end of this one. And I'm actually really happy about how the season went. So we ended up, not 72 and 10. That's not us, unfortunately. I tried to get Blake Griffin, of course, just did not work out at all. Rajon Rondo, like I said, MVP, which is nice. So I'll be a first team for him. So I think that was a great trade for us. And then I'm assuming Kawhi Leonard, Rondo, all defensive first team as well. And Kawhi is only going to continue to get better. But we already won 66 games, which is honestly a huge accomplishment, because that immediately means that we're getting closer. So 66 and 16, and this is before Kawhi Leonard blossoms into the player we know he could become. But if we can get this depth figured out, I think we have a potential 70-plus win team, which is nice. So take a look at the player stats. We had 21 from J.R. Smith, 21 from Kevin Love, 20 from Kawhi, 13 from Rondo, with 16 as we know. So we should be a damn good team and a force to be reckoned with in these playoffs. But let's go ahead and see if we win a championship. Not that it matters that we get one, but it's an extra bonus if we can get it. Now, the Warriors have won back-to-back. So let's see if we can finally stop them in their tracks, and we are going to beat them. So we are better than the Warriors, and now we get Minnesota, who has Rose, Corey Maggette, Iguodala, Rashard Lewis, Larry Sanders, and Batum. Somebody come around against them. We sweep them, and now we get Boston. So we try to get Paul George, who's up to a 90 overall now. So, yeah, it would have been amazing to get him. They also have Kobe, which Kobe in a Boston uniform, obviously disgusting. But we won the championship, and Rondo is your finals MVP. So that is fantastic. That's a great feeling. So it's looking good for us going forward, which is what we want. So now it is time to see if we can find any way. It's going to be hard, like I said, to get depth on this team. If we could find a way to get depth, I think we'll be an insane team. And if Kawhi Leonard develops into like an 86 overall this year or anything close to that, we are going to be in good graces. But Scott Brooks probably isn't going to come to us, so I probably won't waste my time with that any further. Bickerstaff probably won't. And then Michael Malone, if we can get one of them, that'd be awesome. Scott Brooks, maybe? No, he's not going to do it. So Scott Brooks was mulling the offers, but not going to happen. We can get Alexander Ellis potentially. So we'll get Alexander Ellis. No, not bad. Okay, draft night. I don't think there's anybody I can, trade away to get a draft pick. So all the young players, or not young players, but all the like 1-year deal guys are all gone. So we're just going to go straight to player options because we're not going to be able to do that. So I'm curious to see how the draft went. Oladipo, Giannis. But yeah, this draft class just isn't very good as far as depth would have been concerned. We'd have had like the number 1 overall or number 2 pick to get anything. So DeAndre Jordan declines a $0 player option. I don't blame you there. I wouldn't want to play for $0 either if everyone else around me was making $1 million. So yeah, I don't really blame him for that. Okay, so we're going to extend all these offers because if we get them back, we will just try to, do what we can. So we're going to get DeAndre Jordan back. So let's just make sure we do that. So DeAndre Jordan will sign back, and then we'll have to see who we can sign for depth. So DeAndre Jordan is back. All right, so what we got for money? So Rudy Fernandez actually isn't a bad start. So Rudy Fernandez, we move him to small forward, he'll go up in overall. So really like that start for us. Sean Williams, also same thing. Really solid get if we can get him. Now, he doesn't want a minimum, though. So Gallinari, we're not going to be able to get or anything like that. What else we got? Zaza, Pachulia, Dinwiddie, or Turf. I think we'll just go with Kenneth Faried. A young Kenneth Faried actually isn't bad either. So we'll get Kenneth Faried maybe. So Kenneth Faried and Rudy Fernandez would be actually really solid to get. And we're going to get both of them. So that's good depth. I'll take it over what we could. Ooh, Tony Allen's here as well. I don't mind that. So I'm going to offer Tony Allen a contract. So we'll get him. We can move Rudy Fernandez. Actually, we can move Rudy Fernandez small forward or leave him where he is. But that gives us just a little bit of depth, nothing crazy, but it gives us something, right? Like, we can't be discouraged about it. We can get Sebastian Telfair as well, so I'll sign him. And then my goal is to get all these guys we offered extending offers on. Actually, let's just do this. So we're going to offer Nick Collison. We're just going to offer a bunch of random guys minimums, because we might actually make this next season our 82-0 season if we can. So what we're doing right now is we're getting as many guys as possible to trade for first and see if we can find a way to get, better players for first round picks. I don't know if we'll be able to, but that's the goal. So we got to do our best with that. So we're going to offer, this guy for first round picks. Does anybody, no, nobody's signing up for that. So maybe we can't get it. Okay. So here's a first round pick. So, I'll take that. So we get a good player, a player in return as well. So let's say we did this. Let's say we offered this guy, who's actually not a bad overall, all things considered. And then let's say we offer Tony Allen and a first right now. So let's see who would that. James Johnson, a 26-year-old James Johnson, and a first round pick in return. So that gives us, depth, which is what we need. Nate Robinson and Tyler Zeller, another solid trade. So this is how we're going to have to. Tiago Splitter, 28 years old and a first round pick. I mean, this is how we're going to have to do it. So I'm going to do this because that gives us a really solid overall off the bench in Tiago Splitter. Move to small or to power forward. He might even go up. He doesn't, but we're going to move him there. So Tiago Splitter, not bad. So I like that a lot. So he'll be our backup power forward, which makes Kenneth Faried a little bit more expendable if we wanted to move him now. So a lot of different options. Fernandez will go up in overall. So I'm just going to move him there and he will stay at our small forward. So I like that. That will work out for us. And then we're going to see what Faried could get us. So we'll offer Kenneth Faried, and let's say we offer Collison and another first. So let's see what this gets us. Michael Carter-Williams, Isaiah Thomas, a young Isaiah Thomas. Has he played in the league once? Yeah, he might develop up. Jordan Crawford. I mean, I think we got to do that. Iman Shumpert, Strickland. Yeah, here's some solid offers. So I think this is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to do this for a while. We're going to get Jordan Crawford in a first round pick. That's going to give us a solid bench piece. So that gives us a solid team. And then I think I might do this one more time with maybe Sebastian Telfair and see if that gives us anything. Maybe a better backup point guard. So that's what we'll go with. And then this will be the last trade we probably do. If we can't find anything here, I'll just stick with what we got. And I don't think we'll get anything popping up here. So I think all things considered, not bad. So Kawhi Leonard's up to an 86, which is what we wanted. He keeps developing. So yeah, I think this could be a team that wins 70 games. I really do. Now, will we go 82-0? Probably not, but, I won't rule it out, I guess. So, I'll just load 2K's auto-generated draft class. We're getting towards the end of this video anyway. I guess not really auto-generated technically, but there is going to be auto-generated players in it. But, yeah, I mean, we won 66 games last year. Kawhi Leonard got even better. The depth got even better. So, I have to imagine that this team can win potentially over that. We'll see what happens. This year, Derrick Rose gets MVP. And unfortunately for us, while we did win over 66 games, it was not 70. We won 69 games to be exact. So I think we'll be going one more season on this video. Kawhi Leonard should only get better for another season, but we are the first seed, which is no surprise, obviously. But here are your player stats. He had 25 from Kawhi, really establishing himself in the league now. 12 and 15 from Rondo, 19.5 from J.R. Smith. So all fantastic. So let's simulate the playoffs and see if we get another championship here. This would be 2 in a row if we can do that. And we are going to get to the finals and make it. And we are going to win our second championship in a row. So in the video on a three-peat. But of course, the ultimate goal here is to ultimately win at least 70 games or over that. That's the ultimate goal. I think we have the roster to do it. I'm going to see if there makes any sense to fire. We do have some good options out here, but I think we've had success with, Eric Spoelstra would be insane. I just don't think he'd come to us. So, if we fire Jacob Underwood, we'll be ruining the chemistry a little bit. So I'll just leave it the way it is. We're just going to go straight to player options and see. Actually, I guess we might have a draft pick, even though I just loaded the draft. No, we don't have a draft pick. So player, I don't know why I thought I would have a draft pick. I've traded so many firsts in this video. Qualifying offer, Jordan Crawford. Probably try to keep him around. Okay. So this is the final offseason. I don't think I'll be doing anything too crazy, though. So we're going to keep J.R. Smith. We're going to keep Jordan Crawford. Re-sign these two guys. And then if we can get Rudy Fernandez back as well, that'd be great. But it looks like we actually have some other options outside of him. So we're actually going to go for Danny Green, who, if we moved him to small forward, would also go up in overall even more. So we'll do that. And that will be the, I think, final offseason. So we'll move Danny Green to small forward. He'll go up in overall. And then last but certainly not least, we will see what we can get for J.R. Smith. If anything pops up, I'm just, curious to see if we get an upgrade. If not, I'm cool with running this roster back for one more time. Let's see. Anything pops up that we find interesting. We get Nick Young and Brandon Rush. Okay. Nick Young kind of gives us similar stuff as J.R. Smith would. I guess we get a little bit of a better overall. Barnyarny, Monte Ellis is interesting. Kid Gilchrist. Does the overall jump matter that much? I don't know. Nick Young up to, so we go from JR to Nick Young, who would just be a little bit better overall. I don't know. I'm just kind of considering if it would matter. I guess we get a, more depth. We'll do it. Screw it. We'll do it. We'll do it. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but hopefully Kawhi's up to a 90 overall this offseason, because that'd be exactly what we need. So just like that, he is up to a 90 overall. So we have 4 90 overalls and some really good players outside of that as well. So we'll see, man. We'll see if this ends up being the team that gets it done. We're going to go in. This is going to be the final chance at it. We'll look at the rotation all together. Hopefully we can be a 70-win team. Like I said, the very least 70 wins would be my ultimate goal. So proficiency is not up, which I would have loved to have seen it go up to like a 4.5 or something, but unfortunately not going to be the case. So we'll just leave it at a balance, and we'll go with this. So Rondo, Nick Young, Kawhi, Kevin Love, DeAndre Jordan, Joakim Noah, Danny Green, Brandon Rush, Jordan Crawford, and then Thiago Splitter if he gets minutes. If someone fouls out, that's great too. All right, final chance here. We'll simulate this season, and we'll see if we can win the 70-game mark like we want. So at the end of this final season, Kevin Love wins MVP. We've gotten 2 MVPs in this video, and we did not go 82-0, but honestly, I'm very satisfied with the final record. 77-5. That's insane, man. We put together a damn good team in this LeBron era. 77-5 to end this video. I will absolutely 100%, without a doubt, take that. All defensive first team for Rondo once again. I'll take it. So let's just make this 3 championships in a row to end this video. And we'll end off 2K24 on an extremely good note with high momentum going into 2K25. So many playoffs against the Blazers. We're going to beat them. Against the Warriors, we're going to beat them. And we're actually going to be in a tough series with the Pelicans. So, I mean, I don't really care if I win a championship here. It's not that big of a deal. We got 2. And our final record is 77-5. I will absolutely take that. Unfortunately, Harden and the Pelicans take us down. But this was the roster we threw together. Honestly, I think we're strategically did a really good job. I honestly might think this might have been one of my best attempts at going 82-0. I'm extremely happy with the roster we threw together. I hope you guys enjoyed this final video here on NBA 2K24. Looking forward to all the grind in 2K25. Hopefully we get some features. That'd be cool in the MyEras or whatever, just MyNBA in general. All I'm really hoping for, man, is the new CBA rules. Like, that would be amazing to have in the game. New CBA rules. And another cool feature, in my opinion, it would be really cool if you could accept player options before the draft. Finally, you could do that in real life. So maybe move that before the draft. That'd be cool as well. 2K. Not getting my hopes up, like I said, though. Just, we'll see what happens in 2K25. I'm gonna end it there. Thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.